avoiding the low-hanging fruit
Mm-hmm.
got me results.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will say that before I got married, and just because I'm married doesn't mean I'm dead in any respect. But before I got married, I was a creature of needs
Mm-hmm.
myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I really was never one of those women that said, okay, I'll date guys in a linear fashion. So I'll stay with one guy for a while, see how that's like. And
Mm-hmm.
if I don't like that, then I'll move on to another guy.
Right.
So, but I wasn't going to be stupid and just, make those bad decisions that, yes, even us, and I'll call my fellow females out in a minute, that my fellow females will make, because they've, got their needs and they're not concentrating with their mind like they should. Um, but, and I had just three dating rules
Mm-hmm.
that helped me, and basically they were, you weren't going to get it on the first date. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care how rich or how nice or how tall, dark, and handsome you are. You're not going to get it on the first date.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The second rule was, if you that I wouldn't, and these are rules, mind you, that I don't ask anyone to do something that I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
So, keeping that in mind, my second rule was, you're probably not going to get it until after date 3. But if you do some fast math as a, working individual, we talked about trying to keep people in your sphere of influence that are kind of on the same level as you. So if you got somebody that's got a job as well, they're getting maybe paid either weekly or bi-weekly. You figure, so on a bi-weekly check, if you're getting to date 3, that's like a month or two. You know what I mean? So that's not like, moving too fast, even at that pace. You're still giving it, a little bit of time, to chill and see what the person is all about before you just jump into bed with them. And then rule number 3 would be, you had to get tested.
Right.
Just, you had to get tested. I'm not going to ask you your entire medical history. That's between you, your doctor, and God. But between you and me and the state of New York at that point,
Right.
there's too many, and in other states, I'm sure there's free clinics, whatever, where you can go get tested, bring me a little bit of paperwork, and we're cool. And yes, I did the same thing. So the funniest thing that I always get on my husband about, even now, and we've been married.
Wait, hold on real quick. You said bring paperwork? Like, they have to show you the results?
Hell yeah.
Oh yes, yes sir. Oh, I mean, like I said, you don't have to. All you have to say is, show me the little slip, because there's a little slip that just says, okay, this person tested negative for all tests, and that's it. Doesn't have to go into the chem panel, CBC, Chem 7 type ER stuff.
You gotta remember when she was single, that was when Easy E had AIDS and Magic Johnson. So.
This is it. I'm like, my dude, I like you. You're a nice dude, but to take your word for it or something like that, no.
What's some
And I
marks
get
on
on
your
my
neck?
husband all the time, because my husband, he tried to get sneaky a little bit with me when we first dated. On our first date,
He tried to
he,
he tried to skip the test, didn't he?
a little bit, but he asked first. At least he walked me home. He was a gentleman the entire evening. Walked me home, and before we parted ways, he said, "Well, is it okay if I come upstairs?" And I said, "No." He said, "Okay, is it okay if I give you a kiss?" I was like, "Okay, on the cheek," and then he did, and then he left, and he wasn't insistent. Now, the conversely, before I met him, there was a guy. I used to work in the banking sector, and when I used to work for the man, and and there was a banker guy that took me out on a date, and he, like, we had a whole restaurant to ourselves and live music just playing for us too, and just a whole big romantic thing. And the thing that was over and done for me was on the way home. He says, "Well, I'd love to go back to your place." So that's when I said, "Okay, it's probably time to clue him in on the 3 dating rules I have." And the first thing he says is, "Well, you can make an exception, right?" Sorry, guy. Thanks so much for playing. You were great until that point. So the moral of the story is stick to your guns, be selective, and who knows, perhaps I could have been a thousandaire wife or a millionaire wife by now, but I will take my much more respectful husband who's been married to me for 10 years now. Thank you very much.
Well, I could have got around your 3-date rule.
I'm sitting there. Go ahead. I'm thinking of ways around this.
No, I know.
Oh my God!
I know how I could have got around it. See, I would have taken you out for breakfast, lunch, and dinner on the same day. So,
it's like
so at the end of the night, I'd have got dessert.
Oh, and you brought up a funny point because before our first date, didn't my husband have his paperwork ready? He had his paperwork ready by date number 2, and I still give him shit about that. Like, that was very presumptuous of you. You didn't even know if you would have still captured my attention by date number 3 yet. And he still had his paperwork ready, though. Yeah. I was like, okay. I could have given him a harder time on that. But
we would have had a video conference call with my doctor. He'd have been like, Kente is very, very clean. He has no diseases. Here's a picture of it. Not just playing.
Oh gosh. Okay. The number one way to turn a lady off: start sending dick pics, dude. Don't do that.
No. He would have showed you by X-rays and. He'd have been like, "Oh no, he's good. He's good.
Oh my God.
So see, I wasn't a Boy Scout, but I am prepared a lot.